Welcome into Clear Picture Financial. Your host is Jason Noble. You can find him at Prime Capital Investment Advisors. He is a fiduciary. He holds his FINRA Series 66 securities registration, certified financial planner, retirement income certified professional with 18 years in the financial arena, helping his clients get ready for retirement. I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate. Each and every week here on Clear Picture Financial, it is always about retirement. You're going to have questions about your own situation as we hit these topics. You're going to get an opportunity to get on the calendar at Prime Capital Investment Advisors and meet with Jason and his team and talk about your situation. And those appointments are no cost, no obligation, and simply no pressure. All right, here we go, Jason. There are many economists predicting a recession in the next 12 months, if we're not already in one right now. Is it time to take stock in your current plan? Absolutely. What should you be doing, if anything, to weather the current financial storm? Now, listen up. Current inflation blowing up any carefully planned budget. And according to a new survey done by LendingTree, middle to high income people, listen to this, they are feeling the pinch. 63% of middle income earners and 49% of high earners said that they are you ready? Living paycheck to paycheck. That is an amazing stat. Those numbers are up from a year ago at 57% and 38%, again, just last year. So the big question is, what now? We wanted to go over some questions you need to be asking yourself, or if you're currently working with someone, you need to ask these of your advisor. Jason, first one, do I have a long-term financial plan?
Yeah, and I'll say that your plan in place, and does it need to take some adjustments? I'm going to give some very tactical steps that someone could be looking at keeping your finances on track. Number one is chip away at any debt, especially the high interest rate revolving debt. Number two, fine tune your spending. Number three, curb your impulsive buys or large purchases if you can, right? See if you could delay those large purchases or those expensive trips. And number four, build your emergency savings.
I tell you, folks, having a plan, just being aware of, the environment that we are existing in right now. People are nervous, so make sure you're doing those things when it comes to your long-term financial plan. If you haven't thought about it, there's going to be that opportunity to get on the calendar with Jason Noble and his team at Prime Capital Investment Advisors. You can have that conversation. So next question you need to be asking yourself or to your advisor is, how does inflation impact my cash flow?
Well, this is a very personal thing. And how does that inflation, what does that really mean to you? It depends on your circumstances. Inflation is good if you're on a fixed rate mortgage and a locked in the low rate. In that case, your mortgage repayments just got cheaper in real monetary terms. However, it's bad if your landlord starts raising your rent, or if you're facing a student loan or food prices, right? So we're all seeing that at the pump. We're seeing that at the grocery store. So inflation shrinks your purchasing power overall. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, your bank balance is worth less in real terms when adjusting for those higher prices.
Tell you, folks, again, we get into these conversations and inflation is there. We were talking about over the last 2 months, gas prices, you go to the grocery store, a lot of things going on. It's going to impact you as you plan for retirement and if you are in retirement. So what should we do? We want to check in with NBC News senior business analyst Stephanie Ruhle, and she says maybe we should not do anything.
Listen, when the market is bouncing around like this, I have 2 rules. Okay. Do not panic and stay the course. That's easier said than done. If you look your 401k accounts all day, every day, you're going to freak out. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, I need to sell. But if you were to sell right now, you're going to lock in your losses. And also, you're going to pay a fee. Remember, you have to have your 401k in for the long haul. If you take that money out early, you're going to pay a fee on that. You want to look at this as a long-term investment. Markets are going to go up. They're going to go down. Your retirement account should stick. Try to relax. Take a breath.
NBC News senior business analyst, again, Stephanie Ruhle, with those comments. And so I throw it to you, Jason. Should I change course now or not? That's the next question.
Yeah, it's a great question. And as interest rates increase, repayments on variable rate loans will also go up. For that reason, it's a good time to pay off that personal loan outstanding credit card debt. Don't make any sudden moves if at all. The stock market is a long-term game, so make sure any moves are not based in fear. Now, Morgan, we know fear is high right now. right? Rightfully so, with geopolitical issues that we see overseas, along with high inflation and even the political discourse that we see right now going on in our own country. And right now, we're looking at historical lows around a very important indicator called consumer sentiment. It tells us how people are feeling about the future of our market and the economy. Now, historically speaking, when we see the consumer sentiments charts go to a trough, like at the bottom, in the past, the stock market 1 year out, 1 year later, has had better than average market returns. Now, so what this means is it would be really important to stay resilient, if not increase your risk, to be able to capture when this market does rebound. But if you stress test your financial plan, or your advisor stress tests, and it shows that you cannot weather another 15% downturn, if it happens to pull back another 15%, and you can't weather it because it could make a big impact on your overall financial future, then that makes sense to go ahead and adjust your risk then. So it's only if it derails your overall long-term financial plan. So do you see how that makes sense, Morgan, where you shouldn't make the change unless it really throws you off course?
Questions we are going over that you really need to be asking yourself. There are a lot of you out there that are do-it-yourselfers. I mean, we get it. You're using digital assets. You're using the apps. We get it. You also might be working with an advisor. So look, you need to ask these questions. Let me run them down for you. The first one, do I have a long-term financial plan? The second one, how does inflation impact my cash flow? And we just talked about, should I change course or not with everything that's going on right now, a lot of volatility. And then this next question, and we talk about diversification all the time. How diversified is my portfolio? Got to be asking that question.
Yeah, how much exposure does your portfolio have to different sectors and markets? How much do you have in large cap value versus large cap growth? I mean, the NASDAQ large cap growth 100, I mean, you see that down over 30% for the year. But yet you see the Dow around 10, right? Now the Standard & Poor's 500, S&P 500 is down around 19% so far this year. So excessive inflation reduces the value of investors' cash and encourages the Federal Reserve to fight inflation with aggressive interest rate increases, which we're seeing. And that could weigh on both stocks and bond prices. Mm-hmm. So then on the bond side of the equation, okay, it's good that you have bonds, but what's the duration of those bonds? Are they long-term bonds or are they short-term bonds? Long-term bonds are having a really tough time with the rise in interest rate environment. So readjusting the portfolio tactically to short-term bonds could mean you have better downside protection within that part of the strategy. So this is very important that the advisors are having this conversation with you and being able to explain it in a way that you walk away understanding exactly how they're diversifying your portfolio and making tactical adjustments to account for this market environment.
I tell you, there's craziness about us right now, and these are questions you need to be asking yourself or your advisor. We want to remind you, too, you're listening to Clear Picture Financial. You're watching Clear Picture Financial, powered by Prime Capital Investment Advisors. The opportunity to get on the calendar with Jason Noble and his team is coming up. No cost, no obligation, no pressure. See where you are in your planning process. So this last question that you need to be asking, again, just to reiterate, do I have a long-term financial plan is question one. Question two, how is inflation impacting my cash flow? 3, should I change course now or not? And then 4, how diversified is that portfolio that you're sitting on? And the last one, do I have any emergency savings?
Yeah, maintain an emergency fund that can be accessed at any moment's notice in case of a job loss or a medical emergency or some other unforeseen events. We're seeing a lot of layoffs in the tech space right now. If those employees do not have that emergency savings, how long will it take for them to get that next job, especially when their former competitors are also laying off people in that space, right? So that's where this comes into play. Now, the personal savings rate, savings as a percentage of disposable income, fell to 3.3% in the third quarter, and that was from 3.4% in the prior quarter. And the government said this last week, that the lowest level since the Great Recession. Now, Great Recession is the 2008 market, just so everyone knows. Now, economists have not fully tabulated the coronavirus pandemic impact on savings, but these figures have put the topic of ready cash front and center. This is a big reason why we created Portfolio Payday. This is a service that we offer here. And what it is within the account, we build an emergency cash buffer to account for those things that are unexpected. It's an automated cash flow approach that we work with our clients, helping them pay off high interest rate debt, making sure that we do have money saved for long-term investments. Yes, you can do the same thing at the same time, right? You could chew gum and walk at the same time. It's about how do you do it and making the most sense that's right for your specific situation. Had a great conversation with a reporter at Fortune on this very topic. So keep your eyes out for that article. It will be on our website for easy reference, but also check out our website for Portfolio Payday to see if that's a good solution for you and your emergency savings approach.
Now's the opportunity to get on the calendar at Prime Capital Investment Advisors with Jason Noble and his team. No cost, no obligation, no pressure. We're going to open up 10 positions for the entire show. Here's the deal, though. When they're gone, they're gone. But Jason, walk us through what's going to happen for these 10 appointments.
Morgan, I'm excited that we moved it from 5 to 10 because of the response that we're seeing, and it's been incredible. And what we're doing is we're just creating a clear picture analysis financial review, and it will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown wealth plan. Once we go through that process, we'll refresh your financial plan, especially with all the changes and the dynamics that we're seeing in today's market and the economy. We focus on risk first. We want to see, because you can't manage money just looking at returns. You got to manage risk first, second, and third to help your clients navigate this kind of environment and see how we can optimize the portfolio. We're always looking at seeing ways if we could do tax optimization and estate planning as well. Listeners, we just want to put a peace of mind into your retirement plan for the rest of your life. And we do that by providing a clear picture to your financial future. This is complimentary, Morgan, for the next 10. How can they reach out to schedule this conversation?
All right, here it is. We've got two ways you can do it. You can call this number, 800-948-1216. That's 800-948-1216. Or you can text NOBLE to 600-700. Again, call the number, grab one of these 10 positions, 800-948-1216, or text NOBLE to 600-700 and get your clear picture analysis. It's complimentary. Call now, 800-948-1216, or text NOBLE to 600-700. When we come back, folks, everyone makes mistakes, but making them in retirement can be costly and they should be avoided. We'll go over some common blunders that people make all the time, and we've also got some suggestions on how to stay away. That's coming up next.